group right now.
Thank you.
How's this week been for you?
Much more relaxed than last year for sure. Just having that extra time to prepare has been really good. And last week was I don't know. I feel like last week we did a lot of our homework, and then this week was just kind of relaxing and preparing. Or relaxing and taking it easy. So I'm ready.
What were you able to do this time that you weren't able to do last year?
I don't think that we didn't get to accomplish anything last year in our short preparation time, but everything just felt crammed and rushed, where now winning at Homestead allowed us to just be a little bit more methodical. And I don't know if I'm sure it helps Adam and my engineers make more educated decisions on what we're going to put inside this Phoenix car as far as the setup. So just had a lot more time and not the hectic, like, oh man, we just won at Martinsville, now we need to hurry up and think about what we're going to do at Phoenix, that type deal.
Christopher, you've been in the Championship 4 in all three of the top series, Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. How have you noticed a difference in the way the Championship 4 are raced in those series?
That's a great question. I don't really know that I've noticed a difference. I don't know. You have me a little bit stumped, and I don't think that, or I guess that means nothing stands out between, the three series.
Nobody gives the Championship 4 drivers anything courtesy or anything like that.
Well, certainly I think that you get breaks, but I'm trying to think of if it was different through the Truck and Xfinity series than what I experienced last year, but I really don't think it was. The biggest thing was last year in the Cup series having three teammates that are really, really competitive, and they probably cut me more breaks than the rest of the field. But I remember in the Truck series, whenever I made the Final Four, Gragson was my teammate, and he raced me really respectful too. So I don't think anything stands out or anything is much different between the three series.
The interesting thing is in Cup, since the Championship 4 was instituted in Truck and Xfinity in 2016, from there through 2022, you've had two situations in Cup where the top four finished 1, 2, 3, 4, but you've never had that in Xfinity and Truck.
That is strange. I remember, certainly whenever I won my championship in 2017, I didn't win the race. And then, I don't know. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is.
Okay, thank you.
It's your second Championship 4 in the Cup Series. Does that in any way provide kind of an advantage over William and Ryan, who are making their first debuts in this?
No, I don't think so. I think last year I was, in the same mindset as I was this year. Certainly having more experience probably helps keep the nerves down a little bit more, but I think they're going to be just fine.
I was going to ask about Adam Stevens and just how you guys have worked together. Has it changed at all since you guys first started until that you've come to this point, I guess?
Yeah, I think it has. Just from getting together in 2021, I was so unproven in the Cup Series that I think it probably took a couple good runs and myself proving to him that what I'm capable of. And I think our relationship now is as strong as it ever has been, and it's just a matter of having trust in each other. And I think that we've just gotten more and more trust in each other as we've gotten better and proven to each other that if he gives me a good car, I can drive it good, and same back to him.
I wanted to ask too about Jason Ratcliffe. This is coming up on his last crew chief start, I guess, in the Xfinity series. I know he was part of your career coming along too. What was your relationship like with him, and what did he mean to your career?
Yeah, Jason was amazing, and even to this day, I feel so bad for Jason and the hand that he was dealt going into 2020 with everything that happened, because fortunately I got a mulligan year, and I was able to get a second opportunity at Joe Gibbs Racing, and he didn't. So, he was an amazing crew chief and helped build me to where I am. And, he did not get a fair hand whenever we went cup racing in 2020.
And what about just having him just staying with the company? And it sounds like he's going to be a mentor to some of the, in Xfinity and some of the other series too.
Yeah, he's one of the best to ever do it. So having him around is going to be very critical, and anyone who is young and in the crew chief role would be wise to speak to him.
Obviously, there are 4 drivers in this championship, but one of them is Larson. And you and he have raced against each other for a number of important races and championships over the years. Is this sort of the culmination of an expectation that either we or you might have had?
Well, I hope that, we're able to do this for many years into the future. But, yeah, I guess I hope that we're able to do this many more times, and it certainly is not the first.
Christopher, how would you evaluate the group of the 4 of you overall? It seems like, the 4 of you race pretty well together. I can't really think of too much bad blood. Byron, Danny, you. I mean, it seems like there's no problems at least.
Yeah, we definitely have a good, respectful group that I guess doesn't have any history of having wrecks or anything like that. So that's good. But I honestly think it's a great Final Four, and it's definitely next gen, and probably a Final Four that you wouldn't have seen 5 years ago.
Also, in terms of the next gen, I don't believe Toyota's led a lap at Phoenix since the new car. It's mainly been Chevrolet and Ford. What have you guys done, JGR, Toyota as a whole, to kind of prep for this race in comparison to how you guys did it for last year?
Yeah, that's not a good stat, but it's funny because my statistics have sucked at Phoenix since I've got into the Cup Series. But before I've got into the Cup Series, I would have said that it's one of, if not my best racetracks through trucks and Xfinity. So, and the Cup stuff, it took a little bit to get going. 2020, I mentioned Ratcliffe. It wasn't fair because we didn't have, I guess we did have practice. Maybe, I don't know if we did in the fall of 2020. But anyway, the next gen car was certainly a reset for everybody. And the spring race of 2022, we were absolutely terrible. Then the fall race in 2022, we were better, not great, but better. And then in the spring of 2023, we were pretty competitive, and we didn't lead a lap, I guess. But remember, myself and Denny were inside the top 5 the majority of the day. So we've made gains on it every single time, and I have no reason to think that we wouldn't be better yet this time.
How significant do you think it's going to be without the rosin treatment that they've had here in this race in the past few years?
I think it's going to be similar to what we had in the spring, except they did treat turns 3 and 4, which made it, get a little bit wider there. So maybe the top doesn't come into play as much in 3 and 4, but I think it still will in 1 and 2. But it's not going to be dominant. So I think that they've had a really good track preparation plan going into place here by not touching it, because I think it'll race really good.
Thanks very much.
Will the weather also help? It's projected, I think, to be about 89 on the race day, which is pretty hot for this time of year.
I don't know that it'll change much. Normally it's at least in the 80s or upper 70s, so I don't think the weather's going to come into play.
Okay, and then you got your pit crew has been solid, but there's been a couple missteps. How in terms of preparing, how important was having that kind of breather at Martinsville, where the stress was kind of off to prep and get ready for this one?
Yeah, I mean, Martinsville really turned into practice, right, for myself and my pit crew to make sure that we can execute, and they're going to have a big role in the race outcome on Sunday.
Thank you.
Not a lot of.
Hi, this is Steven Stumpf. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out the 2 videos beside me, and for more racing content, visit frontstretch.com.